Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Egypt. And we are going to talk about the possibility of Egypt withdrawing from a treaty. Because this is something that has come up, and the possibility of it has led to two streams of commentary about what it means, and they are both wrong, and not even just a little bit wrong. So, we are going to kind of go through it and talk about what would occur and why it matters if Egypt engages in this. If you missed the news, don't know what I'm talking about, Egypt has basically said if Israel continues its operations in Rafah, that Egypt is going to withdraw from the peace treaty with Israel. The operations in Rafah being the move that we said was a really bad idea, Egypt thinks it's a really bad idea as well. And this is their way of expressing that. So, the two streams of commentary. One is saying that if Egypt withdraws, well, that means war. No, it does not. Not necessarily. It doesn't immediately mean that the two countries go to war. It means they don't have a peace treaty. Those aren't the same. The other is suggesting that it doesn't matter at all. The other stream of commentary is that, who cares? Oh no, it matters. It matters a lot. Okay, so let's run through what it actually means. It doesn't necessarily mean war. War is a possibility, but not right away. That's not what it would mean. It doesn't require that war break out. But it does mean that Israel cannot count on that border being safe and calm. They have to defend it, and they have to prepare for the possibility of conflict on that border. And that draws resources, military resources, from other places. Okay? So there's that aspect of it. The other thing to keep in mind is that from the military side of it, the operation in Gaza has turned a lot of bystanders to sympathetic. People that were sympathetic turned them active. Israel's current train of thought is, and they don't have any equipment. We're getting all of that. Yeah, if Egypt stops engaging in efforts to slow the flow of equipment into Gaza, that's not the case. If Egypt is just like, oh, that's not our problem to stop that stuff, then it becomes more likely that more equipment flows into the area, which presents a military issue for Israel. From the diplomatic side of things, purely diplomatic, this is the most significant diplomatic pressure that has been applied to Israel since this started. This means way more than that ICJ thing, because this is real. This is something that can be enforced. This is something that has actual impacts. It's not just paper. Egypt engaging in this means Israel has to counter it. The other thing to keep in mind is Egypt is a country that historically has been more in favor of normalization when it comes to Israel. If Egypt withdraws, other Arab states, they're going to look really bad if they just give Israel a pass. This matters. This is more significant than the ICJ. There are a whole lot of people who are hanging their hopes on something that has absolutely no possibility of really being effective, and ignoring things that will. Egypt engaging in this, if they follow through with this, it's going to have an impact. Whether or not it's enough to totally sway Israel, I don't know. Then the other question, can Egypt actually do this? You know, we talk about a lot of internet solutions, bumper sticker solutions to the problem, and then when you follow them down the chain, you realize they won't actually work, and it's just something that sounds good on the internet, but has zero chance of working in real life. because, and many times it's because the country that would be required to do it can't actually implement it for other foreign policy concerns. Can Egypt actually do this? Can they follow through with this? Yeah, I think so. I think so. What would happen? The U.S. would be like, no, bad Egypt. No, don't do that. But that's it. The U.S. isn't going to get super mad about it. And the U.S. may be like, okay, since you did this, we can't have our friend nations fighting. That means we can't give you weapons anymore. You better go see the U.K. Better go see Germany. There's not any huge diplomatic repercussions for Egypt. I mean, there's verbal ones, there's rhetoric ones, there's press release, consequences to doing this. But all of them have a workaround. When we talked about the idea of the U.S. cutting aid to Israel, and we followed the chain down, you realize that it doesn't really do anything. This is kind of the same situation. Anything that would be done to Egypt doesn't really do anything. So they absolutely have the ability to follow through with this if they choose to. There's not enough pressure that would be brought to bear to stop them. So now we have to see two things. One, does the Rafah operation continue? And two, if it does Egypt follow through on its threat? Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.